Welcome back, guys. So today is finally the day that I share my experiences about the Google Stadia, or is it the Schmadia? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. So I did grab the Founders Edition, and I know there's been a lot of complaints with certain things, justified too. Like, Google lying about the 4K capabilities and them kind of downplaying things and putting it on developers where really they're just upscaling things. People having issues, not getting their codes right away. Delays, connection issues, the lists go on and on. And I spent my own money on this thing, and today, all I simply want to do is share my experience and thoughts on this. I'm a console gamer, guys. I have a PS4 and Xbox One, Switch, bunch of old school systems. I love the console experience. I'm not much of a digital person, but I do understand there's a market for this kind of stuff. I do have a Steam library of games that I'll play every once in a while. And this is definitely a little different. Not the first time something like this has been tried to be done, but when you got the biggest company out there, Google, putting their feet out there to do a streaming gaming service where you don't have to have a PC, you don't have to have a console, and it's supposedly reasonably priced, right? So I'm going to be talking about my experiences here. Messing with this controller, though, it definitely doesn't feel the greatest to me. I don't really like the analog locations, but it does feel okay. I mean, it's not the greatest. I do prefer other controllers. We do have USB-C up top for charging and connecting to a PC to be able to play Stadia through your PC. You can't use it wireless yet on your PC through the browser. That's kind of bonkers. That D-pad, though, that D-pad feels booty as a mofo. I do not like that D-pad. There's something off about it. It just does not feel right. But the closest thing I can compare this to is like an Xbox One controller, but not. Like, it has the analog placements like a DualShock controller. But, I really do like Xbox controllers. I'm not the biggest fan of Xbox consoles. I prefer the PS4. I'm not, going to sit there and lie. But I've always liked the Xbox controllers the best. And this controller, man, it kind of misses the mark for me as far as the feel of it. If it was, just blatantly copying the Xbox controller, I think I would be fine with that. But it doesn't. But we got to find out, does it work, I've seen some people say that, hey, like the analog thumbsticks, their thumbs hit. Mine really don't, so it's not that big a deal. But you do get a couple other things, a little charging brick for your USB cable for the controller so you can charge it. Nice that they actually included a power plug there. It's kind of not typical. Here's our USB-C cable. It comes with some okay stuff here. We do get that Chromecast Ultra. We'll take a look at that in a second because we are going to test out some gameplay through that. We also get some cards like, hey, thanks for joining us with a service that we may discontinue in the future. Knowing Google, that's one of the biggest problems. Holy crap. They've discontinued so many services. Oh my God, Stadia stickers. I'm going to put that on my toilet. Hell yeah. Bunch of other crap stuff just telling you how to get started. I've seen people complain about how to get started with this thing. One of the biggest issues, you need a freaking phone, a cell phone. Don't you guys have cell phones? Yes, we do, but it's kind of annoying. Why do I need a cell phone in order to use this thing? Well, you got to use the Google Home app if you want to use the Chrome. You got to use the Stadia app. But if you just want to play this through a browser, which for me is the better experience, like, why the hell do I need to use a cell phone? Why can't I just sign up online through a browser on my PC? That would have, it's a minor complaint, but it is kind of annoying. Here's the Chromecast Ultra. Very interesting device. I haven't had a Chromecast in a while. Haven't used one of these in ages. And I have been messing with this thing for a bit. And one of the complaints out there is that this mofo overheats like a bitch. And yes, it does. I've played for like an hour at a time, and that thing gets hotter than a motherfucker. I could fry an egg on that flat top. It's like a mini grill. Like, what the hell, right? But let's go ahead, take a look at some of the gameplay. The one cool thing is you can wire up the Chromecast Ultra through that Ethernet port. I haven't done that, but it does work. So let's go ahead and check out some gameplay, talk about it a little bit more. Okay, so my experiences so far with Stadia have been extremely hit and miss. I've actually had to re-record this stuff multiple times because my impressions have continually changed. There's been times where I'm playing this and I'm like, holy shit, this is the future of gaming. And then like reality hits and everything falls to shit and things start to stutter. everything looks like crap. And I have a decent connection. I'm 200 Mbps by 200, and my connection is solid. I've tested this both wired and wireless, and it's pretty much the same experience for me. Sometimes it runs smooth, sometimes it doesn't. And when it doesn't, it's not playable at all. And that's about half of the time that I've played this, and I've been playing it for the past couple weeks, and just been having issues. So there's that to keep in mind. You know, in order to have 4K, you got to have 35 Mbps per second, even though it's not really 4K, it's just upscaled, that kind of thing. But I would even think that's not going to work. With my connection, it's just all over the damn place with the way the visuals look and how everything runs. And it's just unfortunate. You cannot play these games this way. Now, another thing I noticed, even when it has ran smooth, and there has been times that it's ran butter smooth, and I'm like, wow, this is pretty neat. Where I know I heard about them using this AI to predict inputs. And I've played like Samurai Showdown using Hayamaru, I can never say his name correctly. Blast me if you want. I don't give a shit. It's just a game. It's a mythical, made-up character. God, people always blasting the way I say things. Who cares, man? But he has a couple moves, right? He has that like down forward slash to do his whirlwind, like a projectile, right? And then he has his forward down forward slash to do his uppercut move, his like whirlwind uppercut move, whatever you want to call it. And there's been times where I've just tried to do his projectile, and I do his uppercut slash, is whatever it's called, right? And I'm like, wait a freaking minute. And I've tried doing it multiple times, and occasionally it would do the uppercut move, you know, his upwards move, and then other times it would do the projectile. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do his Dragon Punch style move. I'm not trying to do that. Why is it doing this? Is the AI predicting that's what I want to do? Or is it just a problem with the controller? I don't know, but that's kind of an issue there. So, you know, for this device, definitely it could have had some potential, but it's Google we're talking about here. You know, I bought this thing with my own money. I was really hoping for the best. I'm a console gamer, but I understand for some people this may be a good option, but right now it's just not. You have to have a solid ass connection. Everything has, like, the worlds have to align. Like, the spectral beings in the universe all have to wish upon you and grant upon you, you know, a perfect Stadia experience. And that shit ain't happening, my friends. And it's not prime time. This thing is far from prime time. Another issue is the game selection. There's no system seller here. Of course, there's no system. It's all cloud-based gaming, but there's nothing to sell you on Stadia. You pay the $10 a month, which $120 a year. Sure, you may get some free games. I don't know. Right now, you get Samurai Showdown and Destiny 2. Samurai Showdown, I already own a couple copies of it, and I'm going to buy it when it comes out for the Switch, so that's not that appealing to me, but still interesting to check it out. But who knows what else they'll give you access to. You're paying $120 a year. If you get the Founders Edition, which sold out, or the Premier Edition, it's $130 plus tax, shipping, all that shit. If you just stopped buying the dollar burritos for a month, a cup of coffee, just gave that up, saved a few extra bucks, you could buy a PS4 or an Xbox One and have access to the same damn games for cheaper. I'm not even going to say maybe cheaper, for cheaper. Do you know what I'm saying? And if you were to pay for PlayStation Plus and Xbox Live Gold, I mean, you're already hitting like what you're paying for Stadia for the year. So that's kind of crazy. And you get free games through that too. So no system sellers. It's very lacking. Sure, it's just the launch. It's only been launched for the past couple weeks. But where are the games? Where's the exclusives? That's the biggest thing. If there was something that was like, holy crap, like you can only play this on Stadia, there would be people pissed. I mean, Google has the money to do it, and who knows, they may do it in the future. But if they did, and the service sucked ass like it does now with all the issues that we're having, people would be pissed that that was the only way they had access to it in a way that doesn't even work properly. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't with Google's position on this, which that's why a lot of people are criticizing in the future. These fools may just see this as just a brick, nothing. And it just didn't catch on, and they just shut down the service. And I'm sure without digging through their terms of service, their license agreements, you probably agree to that they could shut this shit down whenever they want, and you lose access to everything. So you invest money in games, you can't play them no more. It would be nice if there was a guarantee that, hey, if there was a game and it was on Steam or something, you could transfer the license that way, but I highly doubt it. That would just make too much sense. They do have a refund policy, like a couple weeks or whatever, if you buy a game and you don't want it, but there's nothing to buy right now. There's just nothing. A service like this, it would have been cool if you had access to more than just what Google is selling, the companies that they're working with. If it was like you can access through their servers to play your Steam library, that would make sense, if the service worked, right? That would make sense. That would be kind of cool because this would appeal more so to people because you got to think about this. You got to have a solid ass internet connection. Why would you have a solid ass internet connection if you had nothing in your house that utilized it? Oh, you had a Roku plugged in and you want to stream some Disney Plus and watch some of that Lion King or whatever the frick the Mandalorian, some Baby Yoda action, whatever I don't know what the hell they got going on. I just keep hearing about this shit. But you don't have to have the greatest connection in the world for that, right? So if you have a solid ass connection, it's probably because you're a gamer or you've got a lot of devices plugged up and you got other ways to play your games. So that's why this service doesn't really make sense to me right now. But it would make sense for like a PC gamer who wanted to shift to this, or just somebody who didn't have a powerful PC. I mean, I don't know. It's like, who is this really for? But it would make sense for somebody who can't afford to or doesn't want to upgrade their PC all the damn time. I don't upgrade my PC every year. There's always new graphics cards, newest shit coming out. I don't upgrade that often, but my PC is still capable of playing all these games on, high settings for the most part. But once your system's out of date and you can't play the newest stuff, Google Stadia would make sense because then you don't have to worry about paying for parts. You don't have to worry about upgrading your computer. You could just play your games through that. But with a lackluster library, very slim, crappy library of games currently, okay, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they'll get some awesome stuff in the future. But if the service isn't solid, it's not going to mean a damn. And that right now, unfortunately for me, with every which way I've tested it, wired, every other device in my house turned off that has access to, my bandwidth through the Wi-Fi or whatever, I've run into issues. So there's something more here. If I have a decent connection, not the best connection, but a decent one, well above what's required for 4K, and I'm not even trying to play these games in 4K, most of the rest of the world is going to have issues too, it seems. And then people, they might have data caps too. So, man, kiss that goodbye. So, right now, I was really hoping to go into this being a console gamer and looking at this, stepping out of my shoes and seeing this supposed digital future that I don't really care for, but looking at it in a different pair of eyeballs, whatever, different pair of underwear, I don't freaking know. And just have an amazing experience. That's what I was hoping for. I didn't want to shit on this. I really didn't. And there was one of the edits of my video for this early on, which was like a week ago, was like, holy crap, like I've had the greatest experience with this. But the more I've played it, the more it's been hit and miss. So, I could play it for 10 minutes and it seems solid as heck, which is why I did not film my video earlier, because I really wanted to get a wide sample of an experience with this. If I just selected one 10-minute chunk of playing this, like I'm sure other people have that have, praised this thing. I don't know if there's anybody out there who's praised it, but you can't be selective with something like this. I could have taken a 10-minute chunk, which not that I did, but like I said, I was formulating this video and there was an edit where it was like, this is an amazing experience. Not for me necessarily, but I haven't had any issues. But then reality struck and I actually gave it some time instead of rushing this video out. And it's just been piss poor execution. Hey, I wish the best for these guys, but it's Google, so it's not like some ma and pa company or, whatever. But, I wish the best for the people who actually wanted this thing to work and be a viable solution to play their games. That's who I hope the best for. Google, I just, figure it out, man. Because for me, this was like $140 or whatever wasted. This is not going to be my main gaming system. I will revisit it and hopefully things get better. Maybe my views and opinions will change in the future, but currently as it stands, is it worth $130 for a Chromecast Ultra and a controller that I really don't like? For me, no. For you, I don't know, make up your own damn mind, right? I'm just here to share my experiences. You take it for what it is, absorb it, digest it, and decide, my experience is how you want to determine that affects your life. I mean, does it affect your life? Probably not. But there you guys go. This was my review, my impressions of Google Stadia with this crappy ass Founders controller. Oh my God, that D-pad sucks. Donkey balls, like sweaty, dirty ones trudge through the mud. Disgusting. I don't like this controller. It's not a horrible controller. I just don't like it. But hey, really do appreciate you guys. With that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye-byes, and boom. Bye.